does with the knocks. He's got to actually create some and get some possession as well.
And Freo have only won one of their last quarters over the last 6 weeks.
Well, we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a close finish as Redden gives it to Leuenberger, and he wins the clearance himself. Going back, though, and almost taking a very good mark was Ibbotson. Silvani. Lower, good handball. Underneath it was. He got it to Ibbotson, to Palmer, and away they go. Pavlich, the key man, best on ground at the moment, driving it forward. It's a high ball for Pat for a spoil. McGrath shrugs the tackle. Again, runs his full measure and hits it beautifully to Redden. He doesn't really have a target. And he's going to ask a bit of Leuenberger. It's just a poor kick. Leuenberger, he just managed to put a hand on it and kept it going. Leuenberger again. Cut off, though, by Ibbotson. Twice already in this last quarter. Duffield, desperate. Back to Johnson. Clever handball. We've seen a few of those tonight. Hayden misses it, though. Sheldon. Johnson backed up.
Well done.
Their second effort was good. And they've got a loose man. And Pavlich is running forward. Can Palmer get it there? He's going to chip it towards Millington. It goes off the side of the boot. McGrath. Holding on. Millington did well. He's a first gamer. Gee, he played that well.
I'll tell you what, though, McGrath did well too. Oh, no. 50 metres where they're arguing with the umpire, not throwing back. But I thought McGrath did well there, Matty, just to hold him up because Pavlich was out.
That was Lukey Power too.
What
I think.
was that?
Was it Lukey Power that I think it was?
So this is a big turnaround here. Josh Millington, who was so calm in that situation in his first game. Now a chance to put the Dockers 9 points in front.
Well, Lukey Power, if it was Lukey Power, he's had 7 possessions, maybe frustration. You've got to be better than that. If it was Lukey Power.
It was, Luke. It was.
Big moment here, especially for this young man. Mellington shaves it to the wrong side.
Let off.
And a let off for Power. And a let off for the Lions. Here we go. Now here's the first instance. Didn't panic.
No, he did well there.
Kept
but
it in.
I thought McGrath, they let him go. That was a real issue. So they got the ball there. Now what's happening with... Oh, Lukey's giving him a mouthful, I think.
I just handballed it 20 metres away as well.
Nah, but I think it was before that.
Yeah. Here he is back in the action.
Oh,
trying to. Duffield. Still going. Umpire giving the players plenty of latitude here.
Well, we said before the game that Lukey Power could be best on ground, sure, and we couldn't have been further from the truth.
Well, he's had a blanket all night in Reece Palmer. He's done his job all right, but hey, you can win a game in the last quarter.
Touch ball in the air. Well roved by Lower, and he got plenty of distance.
Good kick.
Yeah. Nice percentage play, wasn't it?
I think I'd throw Lukey Power forward. He doesn't give you penetration now. He can kick a goal, though. So you can take Reece Palmer somewhere where he doesn't like to be, but on ball you just allow Palmer to maybe sneak a goal up that end.
Bit of tension in the coach's box for Harvey. Coming off that big loss to Melbourne last week. Rains just... He does that pretty well, Rains. He keeps his head down. Very hard to tackle it.
Nah, good luck to him.
Yeah. Oh, he's chipped that up. That's in the air a long time for Hanley, and he's got it. Tries to draw the man. Almost, I think he almost went to kick that to himself, a la Gaelic football. Stretching Retzlaff, tap back by Johnson to Pavlich, palm off, out into the path of Bradley. Can't get there.
Hanley again, though. Pierce Hanley. That's you've got to hit the target there. That will kill you. They didn't make him, make him pay, but you've got to hit the target. Gee, that's not a great look, is it? Sandilands and Spider Broughton.
Back after 4 weeks off, Sandilands was enjoying the night, but he's off now. What can his team do without him? Hill, Palmer, they go back to Duffield. He fumbles at the wrong time. They're still going, though, the Dockers. Palmer pinched it, spins around, spots a man on his own. Reece Palmer, that's the goal assist of the night.
That's Lukey Power's man.
Yes, it is.
Bradley owes him a goal.
That was sensational play. Not super quick, Reece Palmer, but when he just took it on here, That's just a determination to say, hey, I don't want this game to get away, and the finish was beautiful.
So this will put the Dockers to that 10-point margin that they've been searching for. Bradley's kick in the third quarter went to the line. This time he's only 35 metres out. Slight angle. Gee, they are keeping the Lions in the game. 2 misses, both to the left-hand side.
Well, these two sides are actually the 2 worst in the competition for set shots this year, so not surprising, really, Matty.
17 and 16, Root. Might be the difference at the end, or McGrath's kick isn't a good one, a tired leg. And they're going to get another chance, the Dockers.
Brisbane are actually the worst at kick-ins in the competition too.
It's all showing now, isn't it, under pressure?
Stats. Have you got anything else for us, Root?
Nothing positive at this stage.
Main, the punch from McGrath. Pavlich, still in play. Fyfe, if anyone can do it, he can. Chip back, plenty of options. But it's short. Broughton brings the game up.
Well, it was a comedy of errors, wasn't it? Like, they've had the ball, had 2 set shots at... he's kicked 2 goals, Broughton, as a defender, but they've had 2 set shots at goal. The easy ones, missed them. I thought Pav off the bench, off the pack, might sneak this in. Fyfe marks, and I thought, go back, son, take it on. He's passed and hit the tape, and Broughton kicks one on his left, the wrong pocket for a left footer, nearly on the boundary line. Well, they had to sooner or later the dam broke.
He's had a big night, Greg Broughton, hasn't he? 2 goals, 23 disposals, topping the list for the Dockers, and that is a timely one, really.
Had a good month.
Yep. So they've just got a bit of space here. 11 points. A little bit of a chant coming from this crowd of just over 30,000.
Big game for Freo. They need this win.
Clark in the ruck, but Leuenberger will win it. Pavlich, beautiful handball to Broughton. The centre clearance for the Dockers. High ball, Patful in good position.
Got to try and move the ball quickly. Brisbane, they can't go back into their old habits under pressure.
Retzlaff presented, but there's no one crumbing there. He has to go back to Johnson. Hill trying to keep it in. Rockcliffe, and tapped out by Broughton.
Now that kick to a player with someone right on him is so hard to knock. It's just been hard to mark even when you've got a couple of metres on him.
So 19 touches for both Rains and Hill.
Harwood's, he can't get past a wall of Dockers.
What a best.
So the secondary bounce and Leuenberger, you expect him to keep winning the taps from here. Hardwood, he's had 2 goes at it, he's going nowhere.
And boys, Brisbane have pushed 1 number behind the play here. So Fremantle are going to be very mindful of not bombing the ball back up and under. Garrick Ibbotson is the free man for Fremantle, so they may want to use him through traffic.
3 ball-ups in a row.
The umpire will try and give a free kick here.
Oh, well, you'd think so, wouldn't it? It's like the schoolyard. All right, boys, go back to your positions. We want to open this up. No.
Too experienced umpire, Pennell.
Now, if you're Matty Leuenberger, you should get in front of here, Clark, because there's a chance that you're going to get one. They locked arms.
Here's Palmer. Just squeezed it out and ended up being a dangerous kick. Rockcliffe, just a fist onto it. Maybe an inch or a centimetre of skin. Fyfe.
Six inside 50s to Fremantle this quarter, none for Brisbane. So having plenty of opportunities. They've got 1 goal, 2 from those 6. And Brisbane yet to get it up the other end of the ground.
Pearce. Kick was smothered by Leuenberger. Clark. Got a boot to ball. Bradley. Got a call out the back from Hill. Dancing around, handball back. It's pretty tough here at the moment. Superb stuff from Greg Broughton, but at the moment, the Dockers, as you mentioned, Mark, got all the inside 50s, and they're getting first to the footy at the bottom of these contests.
And you said it'd be interesting to see what happens with Sandilands off. Freo winning the clearances 4-2 this quarter.
Well, I reckon Luke Powell's got to go forward, and I'll be throwing Rich onto the ball to get some penetration. Oh, free kick the other way. Leuenberger on Clark.
Holding free kick against Leuenberger. Now Clark Stephen Hill's just off to his left. He's going to send it in himself. And he's kicked it to the left, but they continue to be the only team that looks like scoring.
Just didn't go back there. Didn't have any sort of routine there. He should have a set routine. He should have measured it up, gone back and had a proper shot at it. But although he looked confident, didn't do it with any system at all there.
Just grabbed the jumper. Maybe Leuenberger, just a half a fist. Umpire in good position to spot that.
Fremantle got him hemmed in here on this kick in. Has to come towards us. It's the only way. He's got deep numbers.
And he gets a Shepherd McGrath, but they're
worked it well.
Running the risk to Rockcliffe. Hardwood. That's a good kick, Rockcliffe. Measured it well.
Got to get one down the line to take the pressure off, I reckon, Roo. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter if you've got 2 on 1. Just
look at this.
Oh, too much air on the ball, but everybody goes to ground. First to it and doing well was Lower. Superb handball releasing Fyfe. His kick to Pearce. He's got him. And the kick from Hardwood had too much air on it, and he's going to be made to pay for it.
Courageous or stupid, Shuri?
Stupid at this stage, but he's only a youngster. But what I meant, they've been inside 50, I think 7 or 8 times Fremantle. Sooner or later, you've got to release the pressure. Even if you get a ball in on the wing, and it's 8-0. So they haven't even been inside 50. Get it as far as you can. Get a ball up or a ball in on the wing. And that time he went to the centre corridor. That is disastrous.
They've missed a couple of shots in this quarter to the left-hand side. They lead by 12. It's a 2-goal margin. Pearce to make it 3.
No.
To the right-hand side. The Dockers keeping the Lions in the game. The Lions can't get it forward to 50, forward to the centre.
We talk about kicking efficiency being important. Well, I'll tell you what, goal kicking is more important than field kicking as well, and just absolutely kills you, just deflates you, gives the opposition another chance. 11 goals 12 to 10 goal 5.
Here's one down the middle now, so they've gone with something really attacking to Pavlich.
Don't kick it to the best player on the ground.
Well, everything else had failed, Matty, so they thought, let's go down, try and get one through the guts, and it just didn't work.
Oh, I haven't got a problem with changing it up, but...
Yeah, no, not when he's there.
They want him to have a big talk.
Torba.
He answers the crowd and kicks it off the side. It's still alive, though. And a free kick. Chopping at the arms. The Dockers will finally get this goal. It's going to be Nick Lower. So many times we see the torp, it just comes off the side. Let's take a look.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
Over the shoulder.
In front.
Especially when it's a mongrel. When it's a mongrel, the forwards have already got the opportunity because everybody plays behind their man.
Can he kick this one?
Oh, he kicked this one, Roo.
Doesn't kick many goals, Nick Lower.
He's only kicked the 4 this year. He's only kicked the 4 in his career. This will get the crowd up and going, though. Absolutely.
Well, Freo have dominated this last quarter. We said it before, they'd only won 1 of the last 6 games in the last quarter. But they've had 39 possessions to 14 at this stage. There was the taunt by Pavlich. He went for it. The crowd wanted him to. The captain can do what he wants. Nick Lower's in front. And he got a punch in the back of the head and got the goal for his work. A good kick under pressure because even though it was a close one, he needed it.
Well, boys, they've only won 1 last quarter out of the last 6 weeks. A bit of talk about their fade-outs, so they've obviously addressed it, and I'm very interested to see if they can finish this game out for Fremantle.
Well, they're right on top at the moment, so the Lions, for Michael Voss, have to find something here at the moment. Leuenberger. Ball squeezed out. They can't get Black into the game.
They've got to get an inside 50. That's what they need.
Redden.
They can't even get their hands on the ball. This quarter, it's been 39 disposals to 15. It's 20 contested possessions to 7. So Freo harder at it, and 9 inside 50s to none.
Clark and Leuenberger again do battle. First to it, De Boer.
He's gone on to black too, De Boer.
Patfull and Main. Patfull. Some aerobatic work with the boot.
Did that well.
Hardwood.
Oh,
Hanley's kick. Well, it might fall for Golby. Had to ride the bump, and he didn't ride it that well. Been around a bit longer. Hayden.
harder body.
Yep. Spills out the back, though, for the Lions. Redden, got no one to help him out. Hinkley, back through him. Off the ground. But it's still the Dockers standing tall. Clark's kick in front, Fyfe. They've got a run on here, Fremantle.
Got no one to kick to, Matty forward. Has to go sideways and not that much sideways.
Off a step, it was a tired leg. Rockcliffe in the way. Now the Lions forward for the first time. And it falls over the back, through Sheldon's legs. Brown stays on his feet, but he's slow to pick it up and the big man's dragged down. Fremantle crowd want holding the ball.
You've got to give Fremantle credit. They have come out this last quarter. They want to win this game. Copped it from all quarters in.
He caught one in the head here, Brownie. Just there, or in the shoulder.
Good bump.
Out wider now from the bounce. Redden from Rockcliffe. Messy footy from the Lions at the moment. They're not reacting to the pressure well, as Pearce did exactly the same with his kick, but
good kick.
It did okay in the end, didn't it? Yeah. 24 scoring shots to 15 now. As you mentioned, Mark, it's just all Fremantle in this last turn. No McPharlin, no Sandilands. And about 10 or 12 on the injury list already.
And just starting to rain a little bit, boys, for the first time tonight.
Well, as Glenn mentioned earlier in the broadcast, huge amount of rain here yesterday.
It's been 13 scoring shots to 3 in the second half.
Yep. Lions led by 11 points at half-time. They're down by 19.
Oh, that's Simon Black up against De Boer. Just had a bit of work off the ball then.
De Boer's doing a good job on Black at the moment as Rich spoils.
Black hasn't touched the ball in the last quarter.
I tell you what, when they subbed off Carnice, not. I know I like the way he plays, but he was that forward who was getting off everybody. And I know he's a young body, and they probably had it in plan prior to the game. But geez, they've lacked that other half forward, haven't they? Brisbane, another. I know they're not getting it forward, but just falling down.
They got 12 players and haven't had a disposal this quarter. Huh?
12 players. Well, it just showed. Well done, the Fremantle. They've really wanted this.
Here's Simon Black on the ball. A bit of frustration.
Yep.
Oh, a bit of a hit. Is it pulling his hair? Sorry.
Crowley.
Well, that only happened in rugby.
Long kick in. Maguire, that's a good mark.
Well, they've got to take some risks now. They've got to get some free ball. This is just going sideways.
Gee, dancing with the devil, the Lions. Rockcliffe eventually said, get it out of here.
Still that's up. A bad handball.
Well, he had no chance at all, Maguire. Still had just belted it into him. Duffield given plenty of time. Legged.
Well, Shaney, you want to play on, but you don't play on so that man who mans the mark could then pressure the person you handball to.
Exactly.
Kick in from Duffield. Fyfe! He's too good. Nathan Fyfe, what a talent, as I've mentioned a couple of times tonight. Just 30 games. He plays like he's played 150. Here's the tackle just slipping down. Stiller. Two points tonight, Nathan Fyfe. Can he get one straight here? He can't. We've mozzed him.
Rocks the ball across his body a little bit. Roo, you kicked a heap of goals. Just nice to have a look at his technique next chance we get to see whether you think he might have to straighten up or even go out to his right a little bit more.
Straight down the guts from Hanley. They're rolling the dice here, the Lions. Black going to get it back from himself. Oh, and he's given it up. That doesn't happen too often. And Broughton sends it in the Bradley direction. Spoil, they've got numbers, the Lions. Patfull will need some help. Golby will keep it in. Chipping down the line. Rockcliffe. Inboard to Black. Trying to run it out by hand. It just sort of begs the question of whether they can turn it over. But McGrath's going to go down through the middle. And he has turned it over.
Well, they're taking chances.
They're taking some risks.
Yeah,
You've got to do it.
They've got to do it. You'd rather lose by 30 to 40 points and not take the game on.
You've got to do it. Half a second and they're out. It's a good tackle by Millington.
Crowley come off Black and went on to Rich. Rich has only had the 13 disposals for the game.
Fyfe direction again. Did enough to bring it to the ground.
Gee, Leuenberg's got to mark that.
Yep, Hinkley to Crowley. Crowley off a step. It's a long way in, but it's not far enough. Rockcliffe again. Now, wider to Polkinghorne. Rich and Crowley, one-on-one. And Crowley, he was tired getting there.
And boys, just before you mentioning about Nat Fyfe, I spoke to a couple of Fremantle Docker officials a couple of weeks ago, and so much aspects to like about young Nat. He's such an exciting player, but they feel that his kicking just lets him down a bit. An area that he has to work on is kicking around the ground, hitting targets, and obviously that set shot goal.
Pavlich waited. Rich hit it back in hope. Buick trying to do the same. Robertson decided to pick it up and chip in board. It's a dangerous one. The punch forward by Harwood. Leuenberger, how did he do that? Play on the call. Clark gets it back to Duffield. They've taken some risks here, the Dockers, and somehow they got it to lower his kick. A little bit too much on it. Stiller. Back to Patfull. Worked it out well to Stiller. This is the one that's letting him down, though. Well, Jack Redden, he's a bit sore there, or maybe he's cramped up a bit. Rockcliffe getting plenty of possessions late. Too much on it. Easy one to spoil. And the Lions really breaking down at half forward as Johnson chips it back. Not a lot to kick to for Hinkley. He's got to wait.
Well, Retzlaff's the one playing at centre forward now. Oh, another 50 metres. How many's that against Brisbane tonight? Must be, I think, 3 at least.
At least.
They've really missed Mitch Clark tonight. Another tall forward. Have a spell on the ruck.
I think that says it all from Michael Voss. Just exasperated on that 50. And they haven't scored this quarter, Brisbane. Ibbotson trying to make it a 26-point deficit. Right on 50.
You got that goal kicking practice, I think.
That is a shank. That's horrible. So they've kicked. What have they kicked this quarter, Roy?
So you've got 2 goals, 5 to zip.
2-5, but one across the face and one out in the full.
13 inside 50s to 1.
They're going to get it back here because they've got numbers. Crowley spilt what he should have taken. He's got the confidence to try and outrun Leuenberger, and he's got a loose man. Broughton. Pavlich. Into the pocket.
Penetration.
Couldn't do it. But it's another inside 50.
Yeah.
And this quarter, it's been 10 clearances to 2, Matty, in this quarter in favour of Fremantle. So there'll be a chance from this stoppage here inside 50.
Bradley made good position. And Fyfe, smother from Leuenberger. Spins on its axis to Bradley. Back to Broughton. Got a call out the back. Pavlich. Some volleyball work. Palmer cuts through. Reece Palmer. Another behind.
Tell you what, if Lukey Power, Reece Palmer had kicked that one, it would have been a horror night for Luke Power. Well done to Pavlich, just smart play. Knew he was going to be tackled by Luke Power, and then his man should have finished off.
2 6 and 2 misses, so 2 goals from 10 shots at goal for the Dockers. But the good thing for them is they've had 10, Brisbane haven't had any. They cannot get it forward. Here's Brown trying to do something about it. Black just came off the bench and didn't get far. He's dumped. Rockcliffe 11 disposals in this final term. The only one really getting hold of it for Brisbane. Broughton and Pavlich have continued their good form. McGrath got boot to ball.
11 out of 50, Matty.
Black wins a free kick.
Well, that's his 4th possession coming up now. They're playing advantage. Oh, they didn't take it on. But he's been quiet this last quarter. But, gee, he did a hell of a lot of work early in the first 3 for Brisbane.
He's and end up with about his normal sort of 30 possession game.
They've sat behind the ball beautifully, Fremantle, this last quarter. Jonathan Brown hasn't been a threat at all.
There's an inside 50 towards Brown.
There's 5 blokes hanging off him.
Rich, something from nothing. Didn't get the spectacular bounce. Sheesh.
Out in the full.
Out in the full off Pav. So Brisbane lucky here. He could see the funny side of it. He's kicked 5 goals, had a brilliant night.
You might have 3 Brownlow votes in the vault, I think.
Well, Dylan Robinson just had to be a little bit better there, boys, coming through.
Rains's kick straight across the face. Out of bounds on the full. Lions still yet to score. Here's Rich trying to kick one of the goals of the season.
Had a lot of discipline too, Matty. I reckon he centred that.
Crumbing was De Boer. He was in the right position.
He's had a good last quarter, De Boer.
Yep. Knocked forward by Lower to Bradley. Didn't get down to it. Sheldon scooped it over the top for O'Brien. And a good effort by Lower, making sure it goes out.
Well, they had a crack tonight, Brisbane, for the first 3 quarters, but just couldn't sustain it. And you would have thought if anyone was going to drop off, it might have been Freo with the injuries, but I guess they've got more to play for, considering they're heading or trying to stay in the range for the finals.
From the clearance again, it's the Dockers working a little bit harder. Fyfe, Duffield, Johnson. Back with numbers, though, from the Lions from the spoil. Redden, chip pass through the middle. Sheldon. Wide at a Rockcliffe.
Hayden just sitting in that spot in front of Brown, and there he is.
It wasn't a good kick from Rockcliffe, though.
No, but they can't penetrate. Even if they get inside 50, it goes to about 45 metres. You've got to get the ball into the 20-metre arc.
Hayden's kick, searching for Pavlich. There's a mismatch there. He got on his own.
27 touches for Pav now.
Just
5 goals.
The one thing with Sandilands going off for McPharlin's going to play on Brown, so he's not going to give you a lot of run, you would think, because he's got a big job. Sandilands, they were losing the clearances. I reckon having another 2 runners on the ground has made them look a bit quicker, and they've covered the ground a lot more.
Well, Jacko's been saying right from earlier in this game that they looked a bit top-heavy.
Michael Barlow rested. Just watching on. His first game back last week, so he'll be happy with what he's seen so far tonight. They were tested and they've responded really well in this last quarter, dominating things, except with goals on the scoreboard. Pavlich again. Broughton. Big game from him. Fyfe waiting for the big leap. Off a step, he couldn't get over Stiller. And that's a turnover, monumental turnover. No pressure whatsoever.
Is that Broughton? He's gone from defence into the midfield and also had a massive impact.
Well,
kicked his 2.
And he's kicked it onto the chest of Mellington. Wasn't exactly copybook footy.
30 touches now for Broughton. 12 contested, 4 inside 50s and 2 goals.
Game. If his captain wasn't getting 6 Brownlow votes tonight, he might have got in for 1.
Exactly.
Well, we saw Mellington before have a set shot and let himself down. It'll be his first goal in AFL football on debut.
No pressure now.
No, the clock is now in his favour. And he's done the same thing. Dominant quarter by the Dockers. The only thing lacking on a really big finish for their fans is the fact they've missed all these set shots.
Yeah, 2 goals 7 now for the quarter.
They might get another shot yet because the Lions are very messy trying to get it out. And here's Mellington. And Maguire, he just wanted it to go out.
Harvey be happy with this, Shorey?
Oh, yeah, you have to be after the month that they've had, I think, and with those 2 players going down early. I'd just be happy with some of the younger players. You know, Broughton, as I said, going into middle of the ground, he's a bit older. But the young players have stood, they've been pretty hard in the last quarter.
Powers kicked down the line. Ibbotson was there first. They sweat off him. He hands it back to Robertson. Handball forward, choice of 2. Broughton again. Zach Clark. Zip-zap.
Oh, that.
And just getting a bit confused there, Zach. You're a ruckman.
Yeah, even with their best personnel, Brisbane, I do not think they can win a premiership if they keep the dominance of Jonathan Brown in the forward line. It just shows in the modern game now, even premiers like Collingwood last year, averaged 13 goal kickers nearly every game.
Yep.
You have to go.
Got to get a spread.
No doubt, no doubt.
Pearce barrelling through, wins a free kick. Advantage will be paid. Main, little chip pass. And Broughton, here he is. He might pull up the 2 votes.
He can't, his cap's got 6.
He's got 6?
Yeah, we doubled it up. He's had that good a game.
Did he play his joker before he started? Here's Pearce, just wanted the footy. A little one over the top.
Maguire again, giving away the free.
And so Broughton for 3 goals.
Yeah, put him into second place.
Oh, this will be a PB.
He's blowing.
As I said, he only kicked 7 goals in his career. Coming to this, margin is 22. Broughton for his 3rd to make it 28. In the context of the last quarter, it doesn't matter with the victory, but they've missed another set shot, the Dockers, so the stats still aren't good for them. But in the end, look at that, 2 goals, 11, 23 points the margin. The Dockers have done what they needed to do tonight, and they've won the match. And they've kept the Lions scoreless in the final quarter.
Yeah, great last quarter by Fremantle. There's absolutely no doubt Mark Harvey would have said to him at 3/4 time, he would have identified the poor record over the last 6 weeks, and he would have made it very clear how important these 4 points were, because North Melbourne have got Port Adelaide tomorrow. If they have a win, they would have been knocked out of the 8, Fremantle. So you've got to control the controllables, win at home, have a good win, get some good footy, and although they didn't finish off the way he would have liked in terms of goal kicking, they were really dominant in the last quarter.
They didn't let Brisbane score either, Ruth.
17 inside 50s to 2 for the quarter. That's a big change, and 13 clearances to 4 in that last quarter.
The change of structure worked for them in the last quarter, but it was definitely their effort and their want to win the game, which was superior
no doubt
in the final quarter. Well, their captain, Matthew Pavlich, was terrific tonight. First time he's kicked 5 goals for the year. Here he is with Glenn.
Thanks very much, Matty. Well, 28 possessions, 12 of them contested, 5 goals. I don't have Pav, I have the super Pav, mate. That was a good night in the office.
Mate, it was, but more pleasing than anything that I think the team effort throughout, probably that second half to really sustain it for the whole game. You know, it was a tight tussle. It wasn't a pretty game, I'm sure, to watch, but it's a really good effort considering we had a couple of guys go down, and you know, we're pretty depleted at the moment, but it was nice to win.
Well, let's talk about that. McPharlin goes down, then Sandilands goes down in that 3rd quarter, and just since the momentum changed, Brisbane got a late couple there. But what did Mark Harvey say at 3/4 time? Because he really hit the contest in the first 10 minutes of that last quarter.
It was all about, for this game, you know, getting back to our brand of football that I guess probably over the last 12 months we've been renowned for, and certainly it's been really inconsistent over the last 6 weeks, and particularly last week was really poor. So we just needed to show intent and really pressure the opposition. And you know, the game was really played in our forward half in that last quarter. And you know, if we kicked straight, it would have been a better win. But a win's a win.
So much has spoken about yourself, the top-tier players, Mundy being out, but I thought your second-tier players in the second half. I thought Alex Avani coming back, Clayton Hinkley kicked a couple. I mean, is there a bit of focus on those second-tier players now to stand up if you're going to be a complete side?
I think probably where our improvement came from last year. You know, that group of players, our young and inexperienced players, were awesome for us last year. And to their credit, they've been, you know, really valiant this year in their efforts. But we do need everyone playing their role, and you know, tonight I think you saw that.
Well done, mate. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, Jacko.
Big night for the captain, Matthew Pavlich, and the Dockers have their 7th win of the season. And in the end, 10 scoring shots to 0 in the final quarter has seen them run out victors here by 23 points.